Okay, welcome to Effortless Launch Formula, prepping your tech team for a powerful and profitable launch. And I'm Gina Decker. I'm your teacher for this course, but this is really a collaboration. And so any questions and comments and feedback that you have for me, I just want this to be, the most helpful for everybody who's taking it. So you're just as much of a teacher and a collaborator in this as I am. So I'm so happy. And I see that Liddy is joining us. Liddy is actually my coach. And I'll go through introductions in a minute, but I'll introduce myself. And so you're not familiar with me yet, I'm a launch manager and I'm the founder of Tech Done For You, which is mainly a service providing agency. So we do launches. I've done over 35 launches. I'm on the JVIC monthly tech calls. I've been doing that for about 2 years. So I'm inundated in launches. And one thing that I see is sometimes they get very overwhelming, especially with technology. And also sometimes they're overcomplicated. So this really is just about making it simple, effortless, how to communicate with your team, even if it's just you and somebody else who you're helping, delegate some of the stuff, or even if it's just yourself. I've bonused in the Master the Launch course in case you want to do the tech yourself. But ideally, you want to stay in your genius zone and kind of, outsource the tech, to somebody else. So that's me, Gina Decker. And Becky, would you like to go next and introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Becky. I'm in transition. I have been working in corporations for my whole career. I'm at the top of my game in HR. I'm a director of HR for a large company right now that I'm looking to transition out of. My focus is on helping people handle conflicts in the workplace. And those would be conflicts with customers, conflicts between coworkers, conflicts between managers and people or owners of the company and their people, and getting the most out of them. So that's where my products lie, is in the conflict resolution. I have spent couple of years as a mediator in the courts, and that's where this kind of couples with the corporation and how I can see how they can be so useful to have the mediation skills in a business or in a corporate environment. Is that what you wanted to know?
Yes, excellent. Yeah, we're so glad. I mean, you're bringing such a wealth of knowledge, so I'm so excited that you're in this pilot with me.
Thank you.
All right, who wants to go next?
I'm happy to.
Okay, Liddy.
So my name's Liddy Shively. I am the founder or creator or whatever of mindsetmadeeasy.com. And what I do is help people who are stuck for whatever reason get beyond their stuckness and to flow into the fullness of their ability. So to move from their darkness into their light. Do you need an example?
Sure, yes.
Recently, I worked with a woman who every time she heard white trash, she got triggered and she would just sort of shut down and get really, really angry. And so we helped her figure out what that felt like to her, what it meant to her. She said it was like being wrapped in a cold, soggy, wet blanket of negativity. And I asked her about removing the blanket, and she said yes, she could just unwrap it. And what did she want to do with it? Well, her instinct was to fold it up, but she really just wanted to throw it away. And if you fold the blanket up, what will you do next? And she said, well, Source wants to clean it and turn it into a healing blanket, and then I need to send it to my cousin who's really ill. And I asked her, can you do that? She said yes, and then she did. And so then she no longer had that feeling of negativity. We asked her again about white trash, and she just laughed at me because she'd released all of that anguish about it.
Oh, nice. That's beautiful. Yeah, and mindset is really big. And I actually, I'm a techie. I'm like, what is this all mindset stuff? But, it's something that I'm working on. And so, and also I think it's something that really helps set the stage for a successful launch and also a profitable one, which is part of the subtitle of this course. We want a profitable launch. And so mindset is definitely something that you do not want to skip over. And Liddy, I am so excited, will be giving further on in this course a guest speech about, the mindset that you can get into to have a successful and powerful and profitable launch, all those things. So Ray, you're up.
Beautiful. Well, my name is Ray Perrault from Vancouver, Washington, the state of Vancouver. I'm in the state of Washington. And I'm a dream builder coach. What I do, I work with motivated individuals, helping them build a dream. And then from that point on, we set some strategies for them to reach their results so that they can live a life that they truly love living. The process that's being used, it's called the Dream Builder. And then it's a process that has been with a lady called Mary Morrissey. She has been using this for the past 20 years. It's a very, very, very good process. It's repeatable. It's doable. And, if you use it, you will get your results. So I'm very happy that I can use that because that's I live the process myself, and my life is completely different now from where I used to be. I'm just a coach. I don't want to be a techie. I don't have nothing to do with technologies. I just want to coach, make people happy, and leave the rest for Gina.
Yes, and Ray is one of my clients as well, so I will be building this stuff for him. So that's a plus. Thank you, Ray. I'm so happy that you've joined me here.
My pleasure.
All right, so are we ready to get started?
Yep.
Yes,
Of
everybody
course.
ready? Okay, so this is going to be kind of a non-traditional opening because I talked about mindset, and there's a reason why Liddy is in this. And I actually am going to share, if you guys are up for it, one thing that I do for money mindset. And so I'm going to share my screen. And with your permission, if you're willing to do this with me, we're going to do an EFT tapping exercise. It's called Emotional Freedom Technique. And I know people have a lot of anxiety over technology. And so this is designed to, get you into a nice, quick money mindset. But also, I think if you have any kind of lingering issues around technology, it's going to help with that too. And so if you haven't tapped before, just kind of follow along. When I first saw this, I just laughed my head off because I thought it was like the Macarena. I don't even know what it was, but it actually has to do with your acupuncture points, your pressure points. And so it's really, really helpful. So I'm going to start with that because I want us to be in a nice, calm, money-making mindset for this. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. And can you see that? No. Just minimize.
Yes.
Zoom. Can you see Brad Yates' Money Magnet Quickie?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to play this. I'm not going to pretend to be Brad because he's just awesome at what he does. He's got millions of videos, but I'm going to play it and we're going to tap along. So I'm going to be the echo and he's going to kind of do the tapping. And so this is really just to kind of get us in the vibe of having a really successful, profitable launch. So is everybody good with this?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Perfect.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, at least I'm in a good crowd for tapping. All right, so let's play this. Can you hear that? Okay, so we're gonna tap the karate chop.
Okay.
I am attracting more and more money,
I'm attracting more money.
and I choose to love and accept myself. I am attracting more and more money, and I choose to love and honor myself. I am attracting more and more money. I choose to be an even stronger money magnet. I choose to be irresistible to money. I am attracting more and more money. I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. And anyone else who might be involved in this. I'm attracting more. I'm allowing myself to attract more and more money. I'm letting myself know that it's okay for more money to show up in my life. I choose to be really comfortable with money. I choose to feel really good about money. Such that money finds me irresistible. And it comes looking for me. And I welcome it with open arms. And I'm becoming more and more okay with that. Hearing any reasons why it's not okay to attract more money. Allowing myself to feel good. About being a money magnet. And I'm getting better and better at how I use money. I'm using money in really good ways. I'm becoming a better steward of my money. Making really good choices about how I spend it and how I save it. Making really good choices about how I spend it and how I save it. The reason why I can't be an excellent money manager. So it becomes better and better for me to attract money. So it becomes better and better for me to attract money. I'm allowing myself to attract more money. Becoming a super strong money magnet. Allowing myself to feel really good about that. Body, mind, and spirit. Take a deep breath. Allow yourself to attract more and more money. All right, so there's Brad Yates. Yay, thank you for doing that with me. Was that helpful? Can you feel anything different?
It was helpful, and I will find the video again.
Yes, and I will share the link with you to that video and the resources. I'll post it with the replay of this, because I think it's really important to kind of start with that. And I didn't start my other course with that, but I think it's really important just because, and I'll stop screen sharing, but sometimes, we're resisting, getting people into our pilots, getting our ideas out there in a big way. We know why we're here, why we're here to do a launch, but sometimes it can be a little bit intimidating. And that money mindset is something that we do not want to skip over. If you're resisting it, you will get no sales, and so that's why, it's so important. And that's why I decided to start with that. So it's a little bit non-traditional. I don't normally start with tapping sessions, and I'm not a tapping expert by any means, but anybody want to share any takeaways from that? Anything that they felt?
Well, I can start with one. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, like you said, money is just money. It's nothing but money. But without it, there's nothing basically that you can do that you want to do. It's a medium of exchange, but also it's extremely important because myself, without the money, I wouldn't be able to take the course. I wouldn't be able to be a coach. I wouldn't be able to learn all this and that and that. It's extremely important. But at the same time, we have to learn that in order to receive the money, we have to allow it into our life. So that's the best part of it. And I'm glad you're starting with it, because to me, that is the most important things of all. We may not believe in it, but if we don't have any money, we wouldn't be happy, as far as I know. Because many things that we need, we have to have that medium. We have to have the money in order to achieve it. So I think it's extremely good.
Oh, good.
That's what I have.
Yeah, and I see that Patty has joined us. Patty, can you hear me? Can you introduce
I can
yourself?
hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yay,
I'm
it's
having
working.
some technical issues.
Okay, that's all right.
But
It's a technical course, but we don't have to.
driving. I'm on the road, so I am trying to figure out how to do this remotely. So we're
Okay.
good. I got my iPad hooked up, so I think I'm good. But I don't
Okay.
have the camera on because I am driving.
Oh, yes. Yeah. If you're driving, pay attention to your driving. There'll be a replay, so don't worry. Yeah. So, and Patty was also going to be our demo for this, and this, we're really not going to be demoing technology necessarily, but she is one of my clients as well. And so, if there's kind of a VIP, opportunity to kind of share resources and screen share, she has agreed to do that. And you the rest of you are also eligible for that. So there's 4 sessions, and so we may pick a different one each time, to get a little bit of a diversity of the demos. So thank you, Patty, for tuning in, and be careful with your driving. So, all right, so I'm going to share my screen. And everyone should have received by now a link to the dashboard and a password for it. So I will share my screen. Can you see Effortless Launch Formula, prepping your tech team for a powerful and profitable launch?
Yes.
Okay. Good. All right. So this is your dashboard. And you actually got 2 things as part of this. You got my Master the Launch e-course, which is all about, doing the steps. So for Ray, just ignore that. I'll be doing it for you. And so some of the others, I'll be doing it for you. So don't worry about the steps in the videos. But this is just, I want to give you an orientation to what you have available. So each week, you're going to get a new written module. I'm going to try to get those out on the Friday before the Monday class. And so you'll be able to just click it as it appears, and it's going to have the content that's also emailed to you. So don't worry about getting behind or getting all your homework done right before the first session. A lot of this will be interactive, and so during the live calls we'll go over the stuff, we'll answer questions. So don't feel like you're behind. This is going to be simple, easy, non-stressful. So, but this is where you'll find your modules, and I'll be reminding you each, week before we start the live session, how to access this. And also you'll have a private Facebook group. So most of you are already in the private Facebook group, but I'll switch over to it. It looks like this. So it says Effortless Launch at the top. And so I'll also post some links and reminders, and this is where you'll post, any homework that you're working on, any ideas, questions. And then this also comes with unlimited email during the duration of this course. So if you have something that you just want private, that you want to ask me in private and are a little bit embarrassed, asking about it in the group, just feel free to email me, Gina@techdoneforyou.com. Don't feel shy, don't feel bashful. I will answer the questions. So don't worry about that. Is everybody in the Facebook group?
I am.
I don't think I'm going to as soon as I get home.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Yeah. And if you're driving or in your car, yeah, you have the link in your inbox, and so you just go to the link. And if you're not already in, I think Ray is actually already in. I'll look at the members here.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I think you're actually already in there. It did. I think there's maybe 3 people that still actually. Lucy, I think you still need to confirm, and then Joya as well still needs to confirm. So just go to that link to the group, and I can send you the link again to the Facebook it's facebook.com/groups/master the launch, which is actually the title of the previous, because we're including the people who took the previous pilot from me. So any questions about the dashboard? Oh, no. Okay. All right, so let's go into the modules. This is the fun part. And so, I mean, we're actually simplifying the launch formula. So everybody thinks, oh, I have to get all my systems and I have to buy GetResponse and I have to get Aweber and, you don't have to start with the technology. And so we're actually going to start further ahead of that. And so, page so if anybody else wants to join, you can still join by the end of today. Okay, so let's go to module 1. And so this is going to be a little bit interactive. This is based, this model, simplified model, I'm going to give credit to where I got it from. So Alina Vincent, who's also in the JDIC community, she offered a program called High Profit Programs, and it's a live event. And so the model is, you're doing a very simple launch. So you're doing kind of a pilot launch, that's priced inexpensively first, and then you're iterating, so you get feedback and testimonials, and then the next level, you add more marketing. It could be JV partners, you could increase the price, you could do a Facebook ad, you could do all kinds of different things. There's actually different methods of how you roll out the launch. But a launch is basically 4 pages. So if you're wondering how many pages you need, 4 pages. It's just a free gift, a thank you page for the free gift, the sales page, and the thank you page for the sales page. So 4 pages, that's all you need. And so, whether it's a big launch, a small launch, and then it's really how you roll out those pages. And so we're actually going to start even before the pages. So one thing, there's actually 4 basic things. And it was also in the homework, but, we don't, this is the first session, so don't feel like, you needed to get it done, right before this. But a tentative launch date, this is good to start with. So I chose, the tentative launch date of June 5th. When I was doing, developing the idea for this course. And I had a completely different title. It's kind of already, gone through a couple iterations. And so don't feel like you need to have it perfect. But choosing a date is going to be really helpful, because until you choose a date, you might feel like this is kind of a pie in the sky thing that someday you will eventually do. But if you choose a date and you share it with people, even if you adjust it later, that's totally fine. If you adjust your webinar date, whichever date that you plan to share, your free gift or the sales page, it's totally fine to do that. But I chose June 5th, and I do recommend a launch takes usually about 4 weeks so that it's not stressful. You can do it faster. I have done ones faster. But I think if you're working with a team, especially, you want to give them a little bit of buffer time to build the stuff that you're asking. So if you're working by yourself, like me, and you know how to build the pages yourself, you can launch even faster. I think I actually started this, Memorial Day, which is like 2 weeks ago or something like that, So, but yeah, I do recommend about 4 weeks. So does anybody have a launch date already?
I had one.
You were breaking up when you said how many weeks, Gina. How many weeks do you suggest?
4 weeks. Yeah. So I would suggest, and that's a guideline, but that's just kind of to be non-stressful. I would recommend 4 weeks.
That sounds good. I want to launch something in July, but I don't have a definite date yet.
Okay. So, and usually what I do is I get I get a calendar up. So let's bring up my calendar. So July, let me see if I can, I'll actually go with my Gmail calendar. And what I like to do is see what else I've got going, around. So if you've got a team, and actually Patty's working with me too, you want to make sure that they're available too that time. So there's actually, and sometimes it helps to, pick the days, that you want to deliver, the content, and just start with a tentative date. So we've got We've got Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. What day do you think you would want to deliver the pilot?
Wednesday.
Wednesdays. Okay, so we've got the 5th, the 12th, the 19th, or the 26th.
By the 19th.
19th. Okay,
That's
so
the 4th of July. A lot of people have gone to.
yeah, 4th of July is a challenging time. I had a coach, actually Rob Goyette, who's on the tech calls with me. He tried to launch something over 4th of July. And people are going to be outside and with their families. I mean, it's just like there are some holidays that, it's good to have a sale and some that are not so good. So, yeah, I mean, 4th of July.
Let's
and
not
I'm not
fight it, let's just go with it.
Yeah. Okay. So let's actually pencil it in. So I'm just going to put Patty's launch date. So that would be what we would shoot for. And then what we would do is count back from this. So we would want to start, pretty much no later than the 28th, building the pages, putting the content together, really getting the titles, solidifies the prices and that stuff. So anybody else? Who else has a launch date?
This is Becky. I'll go with July 11th.
Okay. July 11th. Okay, so July, we've got a 19th, 11th. Liddy, do you have any possible launch dates?
Well, it was May 23rd, but I didn't make that. So
okay, that's all right.
Yeah, I had too many things conflicting, and I don't have a stable enough internet connection to be able to do my Zoom calls with any confidence. So as soon as I can get that figured out, I would like to launch. So my plan is to push ahead and get everything done except for the actual date, which I think is going to be sometime in the beginning of July.
Okay, so sometime.
So not the 5th, probably the next Tuesday and the next Wednesday, because I wanted to do one launch for small business owners and one launch for multi-level type people.
Okay, so let's pencil you in. I mean, these are all flexible. So we'll just say Liddy launch. So we're going to give you the 11th. We'll do two.
The 11th and the 12th works for me.
Yeah, 11th or 12th, either one is going to work. So,
okay.
And Ray, do you have a tentative launch date picked out?
No, but one question I have, is there a better day than another? Is Friday a good day, for instance?
It depends. Rob Goyette on his, mastermind calls, and I've, hired him as a coach before. He usually says like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is typically a good time to promote stuff. So if your launch, which is just actually the time that you're promoting, not necessarily the time that you're starting. And there's really no wrong answer, because sometimes it's good to actually just see who enrolls and see what good days are good for them, to start the course, especially if you're doing kind of like a beta launch like ours, a pilot launch. So yeah, I mean, Friday could work, but you may want to check with the people who are enrolled.
Okay. What about the last week of June on Tuesday?
Okay.
Because I don't have a calendar with me now.
Oh, sure. Yeah. And I've got the calendar, and you're on the phone call. So let me go back to June. So the last week of June, we're just going to say, let's see, that's Friday the 28th. I mean, we could do the 27th or the 28th, something like that.
The 27th is what?
27th
Which day is that?
Is a Thursday.
Thursdays. So that 27 should work for me.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to pencil it in, and we'll work backwards from that. So Ray's launch. Okay. And let's see. I think Becky also said July 11th. So I'm going to say, we'll do Becky's as well. Okay. So I'll stop screen sharing for now. So it's simple enough. I mean, it actually does make a big difference when you are really choosing a date and adding it to your calendar. Because I mean, I had my date, kind of in my notes, after Alina's event, and I didn't really get serious about promoting it until I chose a date and put it into my calendar. So that is kind of very simple step, but it's also an important step. So let's do the next step. So the next thing is a tentative title for your program or service. So I'm going to screen share again. And mine actually went through lots of iterations, and it's okay. You don't have to have a perfect title, but tentative title. So does anyone already have their title picked out?
Yes.
Okay. Was that Patty?
This is Liddy.
Oh, Liddy, yes. Liddy, what's your tentative title?
Tentative title is Mindset Made Easy for Multi-Level Marketers
Mm-hmm.
and or Mindset Made Easy for Small Business Owners or entrepreneurs. I haven't decided between small business owners and entrepreneurs, so feedback is welcome.
Okay, anybody else? The title, again, is Mindset Made Easy for Multi-Level Marketers, or Mindset Made Easy for Small Business Owners, or Mindset Made Easy for Entrepreneurs. So anybody?
Well, my question would be, what is your prospect like? In other words, if you are looking for more of a storefront small business owner, then small business owners. It seems like to me, if you go towards, other coaches, energy workers, those type of things, you might want to be the other one.
The entrepreneur.
Yeah, the entrepreneurs.
Okay.
So I think it's going to be the language. What language would your ideal prospect use when they describe themselves? Do they think of themselves as a small business owner, or do they think of themselves as an entrepreneur?
Well, two of my clients, one is a real estate agent and one is an accountant. And so they both think of themselves as small business owners.
Yeah.
One of my people is a coach. He thinks of himself as an entrepreneur. And so actually I was thinking about doing one for multi-level marketers and one for non-MLM, because the MLM has a different goal than the people that are not MLM. But I didn't know how people would feel about being called non-MLM.
Yeah, I wouldn't use non-MLM.
I wouldn't use non-MLM because it's kind of a negative, and when I talk about myself, I'm like, oh, I'm a business owner. And sometimes I don't even say small business owner, because that actually puts it into like a thinking small almost mindset.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like who, and it isn't, I mean, you know who your clients are now, but who is your ideal client that you are speaking to, that you are wanting to attract, and then use the language they would use to describe themselves. But definitely, I think if you're looking at, there are two major groups, and two separate launches makes total sense to me, as far as the MLMers and then small business owners and or entrepreneurs.
And then you'll know which one they respond to. You're going to be choosing who you get to work with, and if you like one group better than the other, you'll know.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Any thoughts, Ray? Small business owners versus entrepreneurs?
To me, entrepreneurs can be anybody. Business owners, it's a different story. I've been a business owner, I've been an entrepreneur, but I think being an entrepreneur relates a little closer to anyone versus a business owner. Business owner, people always think they have to have a business to be a business owner. In other words, you have to have a site, you have to have people coming, which is not true. But if you're an entrepreneur, you can work anywhere you want to be. To me, an entrepreneur is a better word as far as I can tell.
Yeah, and I think it also, that's a really good point. You could decide whether you want to go with a broad niche or a narrow niche, and you could start broad and go narrow after that, or you could, start narrow and go broad. There's no wrong way to do it. I actually got, a subscription to the Entrepreneur magazine. And then it had a lot of stuff about, franchises in it, and that didn't like speak to me because I'm more of a small business owner and also an online business owner, which is different than somebody who has a brick and mortar business, who would buy Entrepreneur magazine and then start their, Pinot Palace franchise or something like that, So, yeah, and you might actually, we'll cover this next, but, and actually it's part of the homework, we're going to ask for feedback, exactly from, the circles that you hang out with, because they will tell you the answer, they will all, ultimately, and then you'll be able to see, okay, yeah, I want to work with that kind of person, or no, that's not what I want to work with. So is that helpful, Liddy?
Absolutely. Very helpful. Thank you.
All right, perfect. Who else wants to share their tentative title?
Well, mine is 4 keys to selling without sleaze. Learn to sell with integrity, honesty, and confidence.
Okay, 4 keys to selling without sleaze. And what was the subtitle?
Learn to sell with integrity, honesty, and confidence.
Okay. Integrity, honesty, and confidence.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I like that. Does anybody else have some feedback on that title?
I think it's great.
I like it.
Whoa,
Yeah.
I think so too. Yeah.
All right, so you've got like 100% consensus with this
Yeah.
live call.
Listen, I am totally open to any criticism, so guys, don't hold back if you have any.
Okay.
Any negatives are fine with me. I've been in sales for 30 years, so I'm very good at taking constructive criticism.
Very, very good. That's a good attitude to have. I know sometimes criticism can be hard, so I'll repeat it. 4 keys to selling without sleaze. Learn to sell with integrity, honesty, and confidence.
I really like it.
That's awesome. That's exciting.
I do too. I like it. I mean, I'm trying to think of what I could pick at, but maybe other than the word sleeve, all of that sounds good to me,
Mm-hmm.
but I actually like selling without the sleeves. It has alliteration, so that's the repetition of the S, the S sound, and then also it has a pretty good, strong, subtitle. So I know exactly what that means, and it's not jargony, and so sometimes sales has some jargon that's involved in it. So I actually think it's a really, really good title, Patty.
But you know where it came from, because I went to that event with you in Reno in September, and I pulled a couple of different tables of women entrepreneurs, and they all said, oh gosh, when I sell, I feel so sleazy and out of integrity. I'd say 9 out of 10 at every group that I asked said that. So that's where I came up with that.
Yeah. Patty, luckily, actually, that's where I met Patty at the very first High Profit Programs event. So that's helpful as well. All right. So, and I want to make sure we get to everybody. So, Becky, do you have a tentative title?
I don't, and this is where I get stuck in words. And I'm still narrowing down my niche as well. Right now I work with corporations in conflict resolution, and as a springboard. For it to fit in the groups I'm trying to go into, I need to narrow it down more to something like working with women or something, because women typically avoid any sort of conflict. I know there are a few who don't, but if they had the confidence and the skills to deal with conflict, that's kind of where I'm headed. I don't have a title though.
How about conflict with confidence?
Or handle conflict,
Yeah, handle conflict with confidence, deal with conflict with confidence.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
And it's good to have, maybe 4 words, 3 or 4 words in the title itself, and then you can all add a subtitle. I like handle conflict or conflict with confidence. It's got alliteration, the C, repetition of the C. Yeah, and it says exactly what it does. Sometimes copywriters say to me all the time, clear is better than clever. So, I mean, that's exactly what it is. Handle conflict with
clear conflict with confidence, or something there, because I'm sure there's a word that starts with C that would mean handle. It's just my brain's not going there right now.
Yeah, we could use a thesaurus, also. Let me see if I can just look up synonyms for
Contain.
handle. Let's see. Okay, so handle, I don't even know if it'll say. We might have to do a little bit of research. Grasp, hold, lift, control.
Controlling conflict is good because
yeah.
Control. Do we like control? I mean, that's just kind of an idea. All right, so possibly control conflict with confidence.
Yeah.
All right. How do you feel about that, Becky?
Well, now this is how I stop myself, so I'm just being really honest. I think, while there's so much I need to teach, I just need to break it down because it's a big subject. I mean, different personalities and all that fun stuff. Let me think about it, but I know what to do. I just need to figure out what I'm going to teach from that standpoint.
Yeah. And I think part of it also is, you don't have to, if it's a big, just the tip of the iceberg, you could have multiple, it could even be a membership type course where you would go into a different, aspect. I have a master's in educational administration. And so we talked about curriculum and the different learning styles. So you have actually different, even just a membership type course, in each month you would focus on a different aspect.
Oh crap.
Oh, little technology snafus. That's all right. Okay, so Ray, do you have a tentative title?
I have creating the life you would love to live.
Okay. It's a little bit generic. You would love to live. Creating the life you would love to live. Any thoughts about that, Liddy?
My first thought is I would leave out would.
Okay. Creating the life you love to live.
Because it makes it be now rather than sometime in the future.
Okay.
Good point.
And it's a little bit more concise, so that's good. Creating the life you love to live. I kind of like that.
I think it needs a subtitle though to explain, because I like it, but like I would immediately go to, okay, but how, what, where, what is he going to teach me? So he might want to do a subtitle to bring a little more clarity to what his program is going to be about.
Possible subtitle?
Well, one thing I had in mind first, I had living the life I would love to live. Now, living the life you love to live, and the subtitle will be creating the my mind went blank on me just a second. Creating the dream that in other words, creating the dream that gets you there.
I almost think it needs to be more specific, because dreams are very intangible, and we want it to be a tangible outcome. So what does it mean? How does it feel? How does it smell? Even to live the dream, because that's almost a cliche, living the dream. And I used to even hear it sometimes as a sarcastic remark. Oh, I'm living the dream, and they kind of say it in a sarcastic way. So, and I like the word dream. I do like the word dream. But I want it.
What about that? Creating the dream you love to live, and then creating the dream you love to live. What would you love to live as a subtitle?
Well, I almost want like some kind of reality in there, like making your dreams real, or bringing your dreams, making your dreams.
Bringing your dream to life.
Yeah, I mean that's something that people say. Yeah, oh, I know what that is. Bringing your dreams. That's not the word for it. But what did you say, Liddy?
Bring your dream to life.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to leave, like, instead of creating, just have create. Instead of bringing, just have bring. Because one sounds like it's a long and continuing process, and the other one sounds like it's done.
So in other words, create the dream you love to live.
Create your dream life. Create the dream you love. Yeah. Or bring your life. The one that you said that I kind of switched about was bring your dream to life.
Bring your dream to life.
1, 2, 3, 4. So it's about 5 words, but it's close. Any other feedback? Any ideas, Patty?
I think that's closer, but that, because that tells you a lot more about what the program is going to be doing. Bringing your dreams to life, bringing your dreams to reality.
That's it.
From dream to reality, or from dream to the life.
From dream to reality. I like that. From dream to reality.
Me too.
From dream to reality.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. So it's 4 words, which we're shooting for 3 or 4 words. From dream to reality. I like that.
And then you could use the create your dream life, or create the life you love to live.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Create the dream you love to live, or create the life you love to live.
Yes.
Okay, create the life you love to live, and from dream to reality, or bring your dream to life.
Yeah, so
I would use from dream to reality as your main title, and then using the other as your subtitle. So your main title would be from dream to reality, and then your subtitle would be the rest of it, because it's
so in other words, the title would be from dream to reality, and then the subtitle will be create the dream you love to live,
or create the life that you love to live.
Yes.
Create the life you love to live.
Yeah.
The only thing I have a little hesitation about, it's not showing the results really. It's to me it's thinking about the process that you go through in order to get there. What I was trying to be, or where I was trying to be, is to already be at that end result that you are looking at. See that?
Yeah, and it might, this is actually part of the homework too, to kind of test it with your target market. And you can post in JVIC, this title and say, I have this title that I'm thinking about, and it's from dream to reality, create the life you love to live. And sometimes you can say, I have one variation, or what do you think? And people will start commenting, because part of it is you want to make it as interactive as possible. And if they feel that they're co-creators with you, that's so much more exciting than here's the title and that's what you get. So and that's I'll screen share again because this is also part of the module. There's one group that is free that I highly recommend. And so Jen Myers, or Mayers, I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce his name. Myers. Okay, so she has a free group called Copywriting Secrets for Coaches. It's free, but it's closed. So you'll have to, she sends the link sometimes in her email. And so you'll have to click on it and get into it, but it looks like this, Copywriting Secrets. She might change the title at some point, I don't know, but it's closed. So you'll just see probably a button somewhere that says request to join. I'm already a member. And so that's what I did with my title. I posted, a little outline, and I don't think she replied personally, but other people in her group replied. And also, when you have a full statement about your pilot, other than the title ready, you can also say, I'm thinking of running this type of, pilot, and, comment, if you're interested, say yes. And it's important to say yes, because it gets them to agree, and say yes and get them into the yes kind of spirit. And so that is one thing. I mean, this is live market research where you'll be able to get, right from the horse's mouth, the words, that they're looking for, what kind of life are they looking for? What does that mean to them? What does it feel like? And also as you start to talk to people, if you do discovery sessions with people, they'll start to give you that language. And so I highly recommend, the link is actually in the module itself, but you can go there and request to join and then post your tentative title. So you can also do that in a couple different places. So there's a couple other people in our pilot. So there's the Effortless Launch Formula group, and this is the private group. So if you're kind of feeling tentative, about that title and don't want to really post it to Jen's group yet, because there's much more people in it, you can post it here first, and kind of say, I'm thinking about running a program from dream to reality, create the life you'd love to live. What do you think about that title? You can put it here. And so that's really just, no more than, 15 people, so it's kind of a safe, environment. And then I also have, and I'll have to include the link because I don't think it's in the module itself, but I have a free Facebook group that I recently started called Tech Done For You Solutions. And I will give you that link as well. So you can start getting feedback, and it helps to actually get it in multiple, in multiple areas, in multiple groups. When I posted about this pilot that we're all in, I posted to about 5 different groups. So Tech Done For You, this is my Facebook page. You can post it on the page. I actually noticed, and this is kind of an observation, but also something I'm learning from Alina. People tend to not respond in pages. And I don't know why that is, but people love to post their feedback in groups. And I don't know if Facebook kind of just puts it in front of you a little bit more. But yeah, you can look up the Tech Done For You Solutions group, or, the page. And actually it helps to post, if you do have a business page, it's actually free and very easy to join, start a business page. You can post, this is the sequence that you post. And I learned this from Alina. You post to the page first, because this is what tallies the stats. Then you share to your personal wall if you feel like doing that. So that's kind of that's just some way. Most people have more friends than they actually have on their Facebook page. So you post, to the page first so that you get the stats, then to your wall, then to your group. And I've been doing that, and I've already been getting like 300 more, likes, views, engagements than I would have if I just posted it directly to my Facebook wall, which, and I think part of that is, your friends and family are not necessarily part of your target audience. And so they, of course they may, not mind that you're posting about your business idea, but they may not be engaged in it the way somebody in your page or in a group might be. So that's kind of the difference, but I've been posting it everywhere actually. And people who, your friends and family, they may like it or they may heart it or something like that, so it doesn't hurt necessarily to share it unless it's something like highly confidential that you do. So any questions about posting?
When you say post to your page, you're talking about posting to your business page, correct?
Yes. So if you do have a business page, and I've actually got 3, I've been posting it to Tech Done For You because that's the main one that I'm working on, at least with Alina's course. But if you kind of scroll down, you'll see all the posts that I made. And some of them are somewhat personal and some of them are more businessy, but if you can see, the stats, like this one I posted this morning, it just says, 25 reached, and if you scroll later down, actually the insights will tell you which posts are the most popular. So there's an insights tab on, I think, pretty much every Facebook page that has more than maybe 100 likes. And so Facebook will give you stats. And so you can see, kind of based on the activity of what you've been posting, how many people are engaging, how many people like it. So right now it says reach is 699. There's 140 post engagement, 5 new views today, and so this totally changes depending on what you're doing. But you can see, just over time, like some of these titles, even just for my newsletter, in Aweber, you have an ability to actually share your newsletter to a Facebook page or to your personal profile. And so if you pick the page first and then share to your personal profile, it'll get you even more engagement on Facebook than if you just shared directly to your Facebook profile. So so you can see this one got 167, and then some of them had much less. So it depends on the titles, and you can, like, if you look further down, this one had 337. So any questions about the Facebook insights?
No, you're just going to send the link to us, right?
Yes, and I will send it. The link was in the module email, but I can also post it in the Facebook group. So your homework, and we've got about 2 minutes. So your homework is basically, we all kind of came up with tentative titles, but now we're going to start the market research part. We're going to start getting a little bit of an interaction. And even if you end up changing the launch date, don't even tell them the launch date. We're going to fill out this. I have a program specifically designed to help target audience. So that's small business owners, entrepreneurs, whatever it is, with the big tangible result or subtitles. So for Patty's, that would be, the 4 keys to selling without sleaze, learn to sell with integrity, honesty, and confidence. It's called, and you can put it there. And then you can put, if you want, this is kind of optional, the first tangible result, the second tangible result, the third. So this may actually take, we didn't cover this today, but the tangible result, something that you can feel, touch, smell, experience, versus success. It's just floating up there. What is success? Okay, so, and then you just ask them a question. And I found, even just in my own pilot, please comment yes. It gets them to say yes, and it also helps you see who's read it and who is interested. And as soon as they say yes, then you private message them. You can do this whether you want it to now or later, but it's better if you do it kind of sooner rather than later. If they say yes, then you private message them and say, would you like to talk? And then you can schedule a time, either with your scheduler or your phone number. And so that is the homework. And so, we all have tentative titles. I can actually post, our tentative titles that I took notes on today. I forgot and don't want to listen to the whole recording again to see when we covered your title. But we all have kind of a tentative title. And so your task will to be, we have a couple of different areas where you can post it. You can do it in our private Facebook group. You can do it in, my free Facebook group. You can do it in Jen's group, in JVIC if you're feeling confident. I would kind of wait for JVIC until you have maybe the second or third iteration. But any questions on the homework? Nope? No? Okay. All right. So we're right at the top of the hour. Any takeaways? Any takeaways from today?
I'll go.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I had to switch devices.
Okay.
This I can do,
Yes.
but I wouldn't have thought I could do until after I watched it. This I could do. I'm learning what the difference between a face and a page and a wall is. I might need a little help with that, but you know what? I can do this.
Yeah, it's very simple. And the thing is, you know, I see so many launches. I've done many, many launches, but I see so many launches fail because they skip this step. This is such an important step, and it's easy. You know, just ask and you shall receive. You know, if you start asking, people will get engaged and they'll get excited, and they'll help you too. They'll give you the words that you need to say. Any other takeaways?
I can say that I'm very happy that this thing went so fast, but with so much clarity and content in it. I'm truly loving it, and I think that's the way to go.
All right, Ray. I love your attitude. You're always so positive. I think it's good. Good sign for the pilot. Yeah.
This is Liddy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel much more open and relaxed. So it just knowing the steps and just feeling more, oh, okay, yeah, I can do this too.
Yeah, and we haven't even gotten into technology or delegating yet. I mean, this is the first fun part, you know, figuring out, you know, the co-creating process, you know, getting it out, sharing it, giving yourself permission to share it, you know, because your ideas are just as important as everybody else who's launching, you know, and I think sometimes we play small. So I try to make it very simple steps, you know, baby steps. And it's so powerful to have a title that, you know, that people, you know, we all, I mean, when you heard Patty's title, that's just one example, but when you heard it, we're like, yeah, we like that, you know, getting that confirmation really helps. And Patty, any takeaways?
Yes. Pardon? Hello?
Any takeaways, Patty?
Yeah, I think too, it's great. You've broken it down in very simple and clear steps so that it doesn't feel overwhelming, because I think so often we know we should be doing these things to grow our business and get the word out about who we are and what we have to offer, but it all seems so overwhelming. So,
it does.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be, and I think that you've done an excellent job, you know, breaking it into simple pieces of information so that we can take it in and digest it.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so happy to hear that. This is about simplicity, making it effortless. You know,
Yeah.
really, I mean, it took us an hour to come up with those titles for the, you know, the four of us. And then, you know, just to post it, I will post my notes. You know, these are just working titles. So don't feel it has to be perfect. You know, it's all part of the process. So, we're about 3 minutes past the hour. So any other questions, comments? All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining me for the first session of Effortless Launch Formula, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.